Hello and welcome to Brew Tap Cast. I am Tap here for another Pints and Previews episode. We are going to go through Monarch, so Flesh and Blood Monarch. This is day 14. We are on day 14, 2 weeks. We are 2/3 of the way through. Next up is probably all the generics, but today we are going to talk some spoilers that we got that I'm pretty excited about. I guess I'm excited about all this, but like today was a little bit of a special thing because I thought we saw the Illusionist, and that was sort of the big reveal of the last hurrah of all these things, right? Well, I was wrong. I was very wrong. We got some more fun new card types that I wasn't expecting. So before we get into all that stuff, if you're looking for previous roundups of all the spoilers, check down below. We have links to all of our little spoiler reviews. Go ahead and check those out. I'm sure you'll enjoy them. We go over the cards just like we do today. Just a little chat about them, introduce them, all that kind of stuff. So without further ado, let's get into the other ones. All right, so as always, feel free to check out the Flesh and Blood main page to see what spoilers are actually coming. So we're going to be talking about the Noxious and the Fab TCG YouTube channel ones right around here. And then, yeah, stay tuned. Tomorrow, I am sure we're going to see some pretty banging stuff coming out for tomorrow as well. So definitely keep your eyes peeled for that. Those will be going up. I guess it's today for New Zealand, tomorrow for US based stuff. So, all right, with all that said, let's get into these spoilers. So our first one is, and this is a new card set. So the first one, these are all Noxious today. So Minerva Thamus. So this is a mentor card. So I was under the impression that we see Illusionist, it's all the big stuff. That's like it, right? We saw the allies with the shadow things. We're like, all right, cool. We see these like weird instant auras for the Illusionist. Brand new hero, right? And I was like, all right, cool. I think we're off the high point of this. Like, we peaked, and we're just going to sort of cruise in through the generics and all that kind of stuff. But no, I was wrong. We have a new kind of card type. This is a mentor. So Minerva Thamus, warrior mentor. So if you've read the lore, she is sort of like one of the best friends, and I guess kind of the few friends that Dorinthia actually has as she's growing up. She hangs out a lot of the time in this Golden Chariot Inn when she's not smithing for her family. So really cool that they brought her into the story. And yeah, so this is a mentor. So mentors, you can only have them in your young hero deck. So this is going to be Blitz or limited if you can pull them. We're not even sure if they're in booster packs, so I'm not sure if you can actually play them in limited. If you pull them, that's like bananas probably, but I don't really know. So at the start of your turn, if Minerva is face down in your arsenal, you may turn her face up. One-handed weapons you control have +1 power. Whenever a weapon you control hits, put a lesson counter on Minerva. Then, if there are 3 or more lesson counters on Minerva, banish her, search your deck for a specialization card, put it face up into your arsenal, and shuffle your deck. It also defends for 3. So if you don't want this buff for whatever reason, or you don't want to waste that card slot in your arsenal because it does stay there for a little while, you can just toss it away as a defense for 3. But holy bananas! This is a lovely way to buff up your attack. So obviously, this should be ringing for your double-handed weapons. So your hatchets, your Centauri Sabers. So those are your big ones for Minerva right now. Doesn't affect, which is kind of funny because you'd think like she'd be made perfectly for Dorinthia, right? Because like she is kind of her mentor in a little bit of ways, but you can't use Dawnblades to Dawnblades two-handed, which is kind of funny. But in any case, there you go. Love it. It buffs up your thing. So again, this is going to last for a single round or single 1.5 round. So if you're hatchet, then you're hatchet another time. That before you hit with that third hatchet, you're going to pop Dorinthia, get your specialization, which is kind of cool because again, just based on this is turning on the Bolton reaction. Having these buffed beyond their thing, beyond their power thing, just gives them an ability to get go again. So theoretically, you can pop off, with these 3 swings, and on your third swing, she cracks, you go search for something, you toss in your arsenal, that specialization, then you can theoretically play that specialization. So, it can be super powerful. And that doesn't even require a lot of cards. It requires this in arsenal, and then, a blue pitch card, and then a couple other things in your hand to pitch whatever you're going to pay for, whatever you're going to get. So, I think this can be epically powerful, and super exciting. Same thing, it can work with Kasai. It could work with other heroes, too. I guess I could work with Dorinthia. She's the other warrior right now, but it doesn't really make a lot of sense because she's all about the Dawnblade, really. But yeah, it works with the Centauri Sabers, which also got me thinking about Bolton and the Centauri Sabers because if depending on how they defend, it has a higher, if it defend with an action card, then boom, it gets a +1, so it can use the Bolton reaction. So that's pretty neat. But overall, I think these are super cool, super neat idea. You know, another way to utilize the actual arsenal for a little bit more excitement. Before we were only really seeing the Ranger Azalea with a lot of very intense arsenal stuff. This just kind of kicks that into high gear. So this was spoiled in the hero deck for Bolton. So I should have started with that. So Nox just got the 2 hero decks. We'll talk about the second one. He got the Shadow Brute one as well, Levia. Levia. Yep, Levia. So pretty exciting there. Well, what is this problematic or theoretically problematic for? Well, Command and Conquer, if that wasn't enough of a staple for a lot of the format, then oh boy, it's even more of a staple now. So holy jeez. All right, well, let's jump into the next one. So this is Lady Barthamon, or Barthamon. I'm not sure how to say that. So she is the Brute Mentor. So this is in the Levia deck. So she has the same text. Got to be a young hero. In this particular case, got to be a Brute. Same thing, start of your turn. You can flip it up at Arsenal. And it says, whenever you play an attack action card, banish the top card of your deck. If the banished card has 6 or more power, the attack gains Dominate and put a lesson counter on Lady Barthamon. Then, if there are 2 or more lesson counters on Lady Barthamon, banish her, search your deck for a specialization card, put it face up into your arsenal, and shuffle your deck. So, doing the things that you want to do with Levia already, because what is she looking to do? She's looking to banish cards with 6 or more power, because that shuts off Blood Debt. Unlike Shane, or however you want to say his name, Chain, whatever, you can't really play a lot of your cards out of your banished zone as the Shadow Brute, because they just don't have that ability. Chain, you can. There's a lot of them that say you can play from the banished zone, and the whole sort of interplay is to cycle them through. You know, she eats the graveyard to the banished zone. He uses the banished zone into the graveyard. So together they would be this perfect circle, but they're not as much so elsewhere. So ultimately, this is a enabler for turning off Blood Debt. So that helps to stymie the flow of your life out of your body because of all these cards with Blood Debt in your arsenal. Sorry, in your banished zone. And it gives things Dominate. So you can, and we'll see a couple cards, like the first and the third card we're going to go over today, outside of these mentors, are pretty epic and like could work really well with these. Just based on how things go alone. I mean, the Dominate is really quite powerful in general with this kind of stuff. So I think this is perfect for this hero and really exciting. Again, I also, let's stop for a minute to even look at the art of these cards. Like, they're full art, extended art, whatever you want to call them, coming from Magic. Like, it's like, I don't even know what to call these things, but they're essentially borderless, full art, whatever cards. They're great looking. I mean, I think they're really pretty, and I think it's kind of cool because they're not, it's more than just a card in your arsenal. It's kind of this, like, you can see it, your eyes are going to get drawn to it, so you're not going to forget it's there. It's going to be something important, so you're going to want to know it's there so you can interact with it. So, like, if you have a Command and Conquer, you don't want to forget that it's there. So it's because it's powerful. So yeah, so I really like them. I think they're really pretty, and I really like that they're, we only, like, coming into the set, I only thought it was like, cool, yeah, the Banish Zone is really going to be like turned up and like stamped into like the actual full-on zone of what you're playing with. But then we got these mentor cards, so now the arsenal is even more important. So super, super cool. All right, let's, and also I do believe that we will get, obviously the 2 other hero decks, we will be getting a Runeblade Mentor, and we will be getting an Illusionist Mentor. And I'm pretty sure we've seen the Illusionist Mentor before. I think one of the cards shows her as like, it's like something about teaching by example or something like that. Well, whatever, we'll get into that. All right, first card, non-cool new card. We have Graveling Growl. So this particular one is a red pitch, 1 cost, 7 power, 3 defense, Blood Debt, Shadow Brute attack. So I assume the yellow and blue will be 6 and 5. Probably not going to play the blue, just doesn't hit that 6 power mark, what we always want. It says, play Graveling Growl only if you have a card with 6 or more, if a card with 6 or more power has been put in your banish on this turn. So we had seen prior to these spoilers, so that first week spoilers, that there are a few that do that chug things out of your graveyard into your banish zone. We'll see the couple there. So a single cost 1 for 7, pretty quite nice. Nice, pretty, whatever. Very nice. Has the Blood Debt, so again, it's going to be turning on those things that matter for playing the Doomsday, those sort of things. So I think this is a bread and butter one. It's a common. At least it blocks for 3. That's really exciting. I'm glad that that's there. So yeah, and we'll see another card that works really well with it in a couple cards now. So next card we have is Spellfray Cloak. So this is a rare generic. Has Spell Void 1. That is all. Not much to talk about here. Really pretty card. I bet you this would look fantastic in cold foil. I don't even know if these are going to be. I assume they'll be in boosters. We're not really sure the delineation of what cards are maybe only in the hero decks and what are not in the hero decks. I mean, all the cards we're seeing now have the code at the bottom of Levia 005 for this particular one. So we're not sure if they're going to be also found in boosters. I assume most of the cards will be. I don't know about the mentors really. That's the only one I'm not really sure about. But yeah, it's spell void. So like again, if you're playing against Shane or something like that, it's got a little bit of incidental arcane damage. You got a little bit of way to block that. The short term. All right, next one we have Blood Tribute. So this is a blue pitch, 0 cost shadow instant. Doesn't have any defense value. And I think this might be the only version. There could be a yellow and a red opting for 2 and 3, but I'm not really sure. So it says opt 1, then banish the top card of your card of your deck. So I think this is really super powerful for your shadow heroes because you're able to hit. So again, if it is an opt 2 or 3 for the yellow and red version, which would be, I think, probably be overpowered for 0 cost spell. I think it's really important because you can just set up like for Shane, so you got a couple soul shackles. You can just like, boom, I want these 2 cards banished, and I'll put this one at the bottom because I want to save that for later, something like that. Or putting a specialization to the bottom because you want to draw that later, right? But great for the setting up things for the draw a discard for the Shadow Brute, soul shackles for Shane as well. So pretty good card for a common. I think it'll actually see some good play just to ensure things go well for what you want to do. Again, also when we see maybe a Shadow Ranger come about, we can make sure we know what's on the top of your deck. Maybe Azalea, obviously she's not a Shadow character, so the whole Dominate thing might not matter, but I guess we'll have to see. So Blood Tribute seems pretty good, and art is just gross and cool. I love that weird thing that looks like the one on Dread Triptych, that lady with the whole weird thing up above her head. So nice way to tie the art together. Alrighty, next one is Unworldly Bellow. This is a Shadow Brute action. This is the red pitch, 1 cost, 3 defense. It is a non-attack action, obviously. So as additional cost to play Unworldly Bellow, banish 3 random cards from your graveyard. The next, a Brute or Shadow attacks. That's interesting that it does Brute or Shadow. So you can have any attack that's going to be in your deck will actually trigger this or be triggered on this. Attack action card plays during games +4. So, and then go again. So a big old buff. And this is also, again, because you have to banish things, this is going to turn on a lot of your other cards that get bonuses from banishing or having to have that happen to play them, like the, what was it called? The Graveling Growl. So I like how it's Graveling Growl or Unworldly Bellow into a Graveling Growl. So like all these yell things is how the brutes always are playing and stuff like that. So 1 cost, I assume the yellow and blue will be +3 and +2. Still pretty okay. Although I think it's super powerful having the ability to, say, play the Unworldly Bellow. Let's see, you got 3 cards in your graveyard, one of which is a 6 power attack, right? You play the Unworldly Bellow, you play the Graveling Growl, you're attacking in if they're both the red versions. You're attacking in for 11, and I think it said what the other one said with Dominate, right? So, like, that's super powerful for, like, or it doesn't have Dominate. That's, even so, that's very powerful for your actual, 2 resource play. Like, and maybe there's a way to give it a go again, and you can just go to town. So, like, we were worried about Shadow Brute not blocking a lot because of some of the stuff didn't have ways to block, but maybe it's like mech, you don't really care. Maybe you're just going to try to pound because that's what you can do and that's what you have the power to do. You have so many high power attacks, you're just going to go smash. Like, that's what you do. So I'm actually liking the Underworld Bellow. It gives me a little bit of like barraging beatdown sort of stuff. Like, although you don't have the Intimidate, if you somehow gave something Dominate with this, that would be pretty cool. Or it would work, or these kind of attacks would work with, or sorry, maybe I'm thinking of the Mentor trigger, because you can get that Dominate thing. It works well with barraging beatdown, stuff like that. So we've been getting that mixed up with another card later. I'm not really sure. I like this card. I think it's actually pretty nice. But let's move to the next one. It's a generic Brute attack action. It is Smash with Big Tree. It's a red pitch, 2 cost, 7 power, non-defense card. This literally has no defense on it, which is a little bit scary. Again, we're seeing a lot of things that don't have any defense. You're just really going all smash. I mean, I guess you can't defend with a Big Tree, maybe. I don't know. Flavor Tech says, sure, they're strong, but I've seen rocks with more intelligence. It says Harold Honeyset. But yeah, this is just on a generic, 7 power for 2. Assuming yellow and blue are 6 and 5. Probably not going to play the blue, maybe play the yellow. Other than that, like, you know, the non-defense is just, it's not super powerful, and it's really risky. So, I don't know. I mean, great against Phantasm, although actually I wonder, it would say 0, so you must not be able to use it to block. So you just can't use it to block, so it wouldn't even turn off Phantasm. Not super excited about that one, but flavor text and name are super cool, so. Moving on to the next one, we have Consuming Aftermath. This is the art that we saw a while back that was super cool, like that weird deadly spirit thing just coming in to wipe away this weird-looking warrior. Who knows what it is. This is the red pitch, 3 power, 6 attack, 2 block, shadow action attack. As additional cost to play Consuming Aftermath, you may banish a card from your hand. If a shadow card is banished this way, Consuming Aftermath gains Dominate. So that's pretty nice. This is a nice way to get, again, if you're looking for banishing to turn off Levia. Boom, there you go. Assume the yellow and blue are 5 and 4. This is kind of expensive, though. So it gives you a way to banish something from your hand. So you get to choose what you banish. That's the power of that. Dominate can be quite exciting as well, especially if you're looking to do damage. But otherwise, 3 cost is kind of expensive. Like, I'm not super high on this. I know it's a generic, and yeah, it only blocks for 2, and that kind of stinky too. And 3 is expensive, so I'm not really sure about this card. Like, I don't really know where this fits all that well, unless you're really looking to, if you have to like guarantee a choice of things that are banished, then I could see it. Maybe Shadow Rune Blade is a little bit better because you can get things into your into your banish zone to then play from there with Dimensional Crossroads. So that's kind of where I'm thinking this might fit. Is like, oh, I want to guarantee I can play this out of my my banish zone. So outside of that, I'm not really sure how I feel about it. But anyway, move on to the next one. We have Writhing Beast Hulk. This is a red pitch, 2 cost, 6 power, 3 defense, Shadow Brute attack action. It says, as an additional cost to play Writhing Beast Hulk, banish 3 random cards from your graveyard. Your normal brute thing. If a card with 6 or more power is banished this way, Writhing Beast Hulk gains Dominate and Blood Debt. So this is kind of where we're going with. So this is the card I was talking about with the Unworldly Bellow. So you go Unworldly Bellow. This is going to cost a lot, actually. Total of 3 and 6 cards in your graveyard to banish. But then you have a 10 power Dominate, which is pretty gnarly. I can see that, wrecking some faces. If there's any way to, like, bump up, like, anything on this thing, like with any other cards to bump up damage, like 10 power Dominate's pretty nice. And I can definitely see it doing some damage. So definitely happy with the Writhing Beast Hulk. I don't know if I'd play anything but this is the red version, in the sense of probably wouldn't play the yellow or blue because they're 5 and 4 likely. You just got to stay at that 6. Staying 6 or above is really where you want to be. It's just not worth having things banished that just aren't going to do it. Like, it's just not worth it. Like, obviously you need to play some yellow cards, right, to pay for stuff like this. But I just don't see you wanting... This is not one of the ones. Maybe you do one of the ones that starts as a 7 power, the 6 is the yellow. Otherwise, just no. I hope this is the only color in that deck. All right, next one, we go into the light deck, the Bolton deck. We only have 2 new cards from that deck. We have Invigorating Light. This is a 1 pitch, so red pitch, 3 cost, 6 power, 2 defense, light attack action. So it's a generic light one, so not either warrior or whatever. It says, when you play Invigorating Light, if there are no cards in your hero soul, put it into your hero soul when the combat chain closes. I like this, although it is expensive, and I will say that it's probably, yeah, so 3 costs for the 6 power, and then we're going to have 5 and 4 for the yellow and blue, so all those cost 3, kind of getting up there in price, but the thing is it does is it allows you to jumpstart your actual your soul. It starts the soul train, we'll say it that way. Outside of that, it's not super powerful. It doesn't have to hit, though. That's the critical point. It does not have to hit your opposing hero to go into your soul. Additionally, if you have this, and there's some way that you've buffed the power and you're playing Sir Bolton, it's an auto, it's sort of like a 1-for-1, right? You can banish to give it go again, and then this goes right in there. Unless there's some way that they can shut down the combat chain, which right now I only see like the Arclight Sentinel is the one that's going to shut down that, but if you wouldn't do this if you knew that was there, like if it would shut down the combat chain. So you're able to get go again, you're able to feed that soul, or if you just want to store things up in the soul, it's a great way to get that soul train going. I'm liking it. It's expensive, but it does jumpstart what you're trying to do. And that's where I see it might see some good stuff going on there. Last one, we have Battlefield Blitz. This is a light warrior attack action. At rare, this is the 1 pitch, 1 cost, 5 power, 3 defense. I assume the yellow and blue will be 4 and 3 power, which is like okay. It's just okay. I'm not sure if that's like, oh man, I really want to go there. Oh my gosh, what's the thing? The blue pitch will be 3 power, so you can turn on Doolittle and Minnowism, so that's not too bad. Like, I could see a good string of attacks like that, so that's okay. Outside of that, like, the other ones are, 5 ain't bad for 1. And so it says if you've charged this turn, Battlefield Blitz gains go again. That's pretty nice. So this is a way to not have to banish something from your soul if you are able to charge. So you don't have to have that buff to give it go again. And it's optional. You don't have to do anything. That said, it does not on its face allow you to charge. So there has to be some precursor to this that will allow you to charge to actually get that benefit of go again. Otherwise, you'll have to figure it out yourself. So just an okay card. I'm not super high on it, but I think it probably could see some play. Maybe if you're going for that 3 power attack thing with the Belittle and Minnowism and just chugging through there, then that's not too shabby because you get a blue single cost for a 3 power thing. Theoretically, they can have go again. You can really string things together. So that is all the spoilers for today. I am so excited for this. It's like you know what? Makes me think that there's going to be something cool for these generics, that we're going to see something really neat. And maybe we are, because we saw these talents for only certain classes, right? We only got 4 classes with talents. We have Runeblade, Warrior, Brute, and Illusionist. And we got mentors for those. What about all the other ones? Like, what about our other classes? Like, maybe they will get some generic buff card that's like, cool, this is great for everyone else. I mean, obviously you're going to have a power level lower because it's not specific, right? But I think it's super cool. I'm really excited about it. So looking at forward, we have, so for Monday, we see Dead Summer Art and the Professor. So those of you who don't know the Professor, he was a huge Magic creator, still is a huge Magic creator. Very good at giving back to the community. Lots to do a lot of fundraisers and stuff like that for definitely good causes. So check him out. I'm looking forward to that. My guess is they may be spoiling the other 2 hero decks. And then we'll see again on the Fab TCG channel, the battle. So if you want to see Sir Bolton against Levia, check out the Fab TCG YouTube page. They have Jason Chung and I can't remember the other guy who's playing. 2 developers going at it with these decks. Pretty exciting. So definitely looking forward to those things. So that's about it for today. We'll be back tomorrow with some more spoiler action. But for right now, this is Tap for Brew Tap Cast saying thank you so much and cheers.